The crypto market is back in bull run mode, and especially Bitcoin is really taking off. We're now trading at $93,700, and that means, are we really back in a bull run, or is this all just a small upward correction? And with that, welcome to a new crypto update video. Yes, as I said, Bitcoin at $93,800. So we're pumping and pumping and pumping. Nothing really surprising. We've talked about it repeatedly over the past few days. Still, it has to be said, yesterday we had a bit of a struggle here at the resistance. That's not really a big deal. We're now right in the middle of the resistance. Now it's going to be decided how things will continue from here. And we'll definitely take a look at that in today's update video. Of course, we'll also cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the other markets as always, so you stay up to date. So make sure to stick around until the end. And before we get started, as always, feel free to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, feel free to check out the free Telegram talk and signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join. You'll find the link for that for free down in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, WEEX is currently offering up to 11,500 USDT. Feel free to check it out. It's my partner exchange. By now, I do everything there, whether it's Forex, crypto, or stock markets. Everything now goes through WEEX. So feel free to check it out and sign up using the link below in the video description. Sign up. All right, so I'd say let's dive in. So as I said, Bitcoin at 93,800 US dollars. We have a green box here. It used to go all the way back there, but yesterday during the live stream, we moved it over here. This is currently our massive resistance. Why? On the one hand, we had the vectors here, which we've now filled for the time being, including this small vector with that big move upwards that one was filled as well. So basically everything is going according to plan. If we take a quick look at the funding rates, we can see that, okay, they've risen slightly, but they're still not at Monday's level. That means we still have a bit of room to the upside as far as long positions are concerned, as well as short liquidations. That's a good sign. Then this point up here is still crucial, the $95,600 level. Why? Let's take a quick look at that. On high block, let's see where the liquidations are. Everything between $94,600 and $95,200. That means this peak that we're slowly but surely approaching, there really isn't much left below us. A larger order is still sitting here at $89,500, or otherwise not until $83,000. If we have worked through this area up here, I expect, or at least tend to expect, that we'll see a small turnaround first. That doesn't change our premise, which I've been saying all along. We still have about 2 to 3 weeks left for our possible wave 3. And honestly, it fits like a glove at this point. Wave 3 would fit perfectly into our we are fucking back zone, into our sell zone between the 0.5 and the golden pocket. That would really fit perfectly if we see this move. That means I still expect that we'll first go for the resistance here. Or rather, first keep accumulating liquidity here before we then, get another small pullback. It would be great if we dropped into the area around 88,500 US dollars, because we still have the vectors here, and then make another move upward. It can't just keep going up in one go, but because of yesterday's move, since we've already filled the inefficiency here, it becomes more likely that we'll move into our larger sell zone and then build our short position up here. So it doesn't really look bad. Today, regarding economic data, purchasing managers index, export prices, but that's all from September. So these are old data. They don't really help us much, except for the ISM purchasing managers index. That's from November, so that's current. But the rest, the purchasing managers index, some of those are still from September, so that's not really great. So in my opinion, tomorrow is more important. Challenger job cuts, continuing claims, and initial jobless claims, all of that comes out tomorrow. In my opinion, that's important, and that's also how Bloomberg sees it here, that the Asian markets are already struggling a bit because of the data, and of course also because of the whole Japan story, but I won't go into that for now because, as I said, that's still a little way off. The next thing coming up is the Fed interest rate decision. But basically, the way the market is moving right now, everything would really fit into the cluster. We talked about this in detail yesterday during the live stream. If we get this pullback here, if we were to get a pullback here now, come up into our resistance up here, then, and now pay attention, it's actually incredible that this still works. Our fractal, for those who remember, is really playing out almost exactly point by point, candle by candle. You can see it here, this small sell-off, and now this green candle that we had here yesterday and today. We had that back then as well. And that would mean theoretically we would go a bit higher for now, then make the turnaround down here again towards 81 and then go up once more. And then the bull run would be over. From that point on, things get a bit dicey, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to shoot straight through right now. That wouldn't really be my preference. In terms of timing, it would fit because of the Fed interest rate decision, but I still hope that we'll get a brief pullback in the meantime just to pick up the liquidity down below and not leave the inefficiency here behind. Otherwise, everything fits. The long take profits everywhere. Please take profits. Better safe than sorry. Also with Ethereum and Solana, we'll get to those in a moment. Everything is running. Next resistance approaching. That's up here now. That's also where the 200 SMA is on the 4-hour chart. That means the confluence up here is good for a pullback, and from there, a breakout to the upside. It's also positive, I have to mention here, that we've broken out of the Asia ranges to the upside. That looks good. So the whole thing, this was just a fake out here. It's moving upwards. We even got confirmation last night, and now we need to move away from it a bit to see a retest. Let's move over to Ethereum. How does it look there? Still running great. It also completed the 2 perfectly down here. Now, it depends. We still don't have a higher high here, which means we would need or should break through the $3,075 level on the 4-hour chart now. But there's still an hour and a half left for this candle, so there's still a long time, but it still looks good that we might be able to do it for the first time here. And then Ethereum should also make the next moves up here towards $3,500 to $3,600 for sure. It's running perfectly. Let's also take a quick look at the funding rates here, just so we keep them in mind a bit to see if they're similar to Bitcoins. As we can see, they're actually a bit more negative. That fits very, very well. So the upward trend should continue to build. Then, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's move over to Solana. Solana again at resistance. But I have to say, I already closed the position yesterday. At, where was it? I think somewhere around here, 140 or something like that. Yesterday during the live stream or before the live stream, I closed it. Why? Because I always preach to you, take profits, and I still have Bitcoin and Ethereum open. So those positions are still running. And that's why I closed Solana yesterday. It was a bit too fragile for me. We only just bought back in also with spot. That means even here in terms of spot, since the entry down here, we're now even 15% up again. So that's going well. We'll just keep watching it, but we need to break through the $145 mark, and then it could move up pretty quickly towards $160 to $170. All right, let's move on to the traditional markets. Let's start with gold. Gold is stabilizing, but it hasn't entered our season yet, so for now, there's nothing more we need to do. No decisions to be made yet. I'm still waiting for us to get up there towards 4,280. Silver. Same story, it's consolidating, but for me, that's still not quite enough for a short position. At the moment, just based on the movement and the divergences, I'm also holding off for now. The dollar continues to fall, which is why the euro is rising a bit more after the higher low. Down here, we're also seeing a bit of an uptick, but honestly, that's something I was expecting. So I also expect, and we talked about this in the live stream yesterday, that with USD/JPY, we'll still reach this zone around $156 up here. To then make the turnaround, if Japan really raises interest rates, then we'll be doubly prepared here, take the move down, and then there will be a shakeout in the markets. That would initially impact the dollar a bit before we would see a stronger dollar again next year. So it doesn't affect my long-term analysis for now, just a bit in the short term that we will definitely go up here and then should see a sell-off first. Otherwise, right, let's move on to the traditional markets. DAX, yes, moving sideways, no need to go into detail. Dow Jones is still, as we discussed yesterday, so just ignore this movement for now. We can forget about it for the time being. As I said yesterday, I actually expect that the traditional markets, whether it's the Dow Jones or the Nasdaq, will even head back towards their all-time highs. Why? It simply has to do with the fact that if we assume the dollar or that Japan is raising its interest rates, we don't really need to discuss that. Worry about that. It doesn't make sense for the markets to crash already. We're heading into an interest rate cut, which is bullish for now. So, of course, we need stock markets at all-time highs. Everyone wants their year-end rally. Everyone maybe wants to pull out some capital again. At the same time, though, we also see that inflows into ETFs are steadily decreasing, especially in the Nasdaq. We see Amazon is competing, Nvidia too. Just yesterday, another article came out. These are the kinds of things that, in my opinion, should make it pump until the next 2 or 3 weeks, just like I've been saying all along. But take your profits, get ready, because if Japan steps in, the whole carry trade could unwind. And then I think that'll be it for now. And this opportunity, and I mentioned that yesterday, I also wrote it in the Telegram group. This opportunity here, you should take advantage of it because it could be a once in a lifetime chance to buy the dip at this point. And since we're already talking about traditional markets, the volatility index also still has vectors up here at 24 and at 30. Up here, there are still vectors everywhere in this area. At the moment, things are very calm. As we can see, the markets are rising, but keep that in mind. Otherwise, yes, that's it from my side, I would say. There's really not much else to discuss. Take profits. Japanese bonds are still going to the moon. So you can see this thing keeps building up, which led to a dump on Monday. Now we're at an even higher high. The markets don't care. Bitcoin is pumping. In my opinion, none of this really fits together. And this rally right now is almost identical to 2021. I've shown you this. It's not a bad thing that we're pumping. We all expected it. But still, make sure you prepare yourselves in time. Otherwise, I'd say that's it from my side. Thanks again for watching. We'll definitely hear from each other again tomorrow. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful and successful day. Join the Telegram group. Definitely check out WEEX, our partner exchange. And otherwise, we'll talk again tomorrow. Until then, ciao, ciao. And as always, stay crypto.